And for those of you who were with us last hour or whatever, and you came back for the second one, hey, thanks for hanging out. And I'll try to give you better info on this one instead of being so random and all over the place. Okay, who was with us last hour? How many people? Okay, my name's David. Everybody else knows. Sorry, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I'm a camera guy. I live in Charlotte. Started out doing TV stuff. Learned about the film world very early on. Said, this is where I want to be in this narrative world, but I don't know how to get there. So TV was paying the bills. So went to that until opportunities through Steadicam and some other opportunities arrived or showed up. And okay, beside you, am I talking to anybody else? Who's not in the last one? Okay, hey, both of you. Did that for a little bit. Some opportunities came up to do other things in the narrative world through the camera department, through those kind of things, which put me in an opportunity to be hanging out with your family, to be doing things, doing what I do, doing what we do in the camera world. There's a lot of secular stuff going on out there. And as I was growing in my faith and said, how can I be doing what I want to be doing and with my faith and where my beliefs are and what I want to be, where I want to be doing what feeds my heart, just not my family? How do I get into that? So when the Kendricks called in 2013, 14, that opportunity gave me the chance to do what I love, which is pointing lenses at people and telling stories, and take that and do it in a capacity that is serving the Lord and what I want to be doing. So, and I'm going to try not to fall into that too many times in this hour. This stuff's fun, and just this is all about relationships. And it's also about trying to get my computer to not turn off on me. Okay, cool. All right, 3, 2. All right. So, why am I here? What are we going to chat about for the next little bit? I was here in Albany in June, July. And while I was here, somebody from the festival, at some juncture we're hanging out on the chow line or whatever, and somebody said to me, hey man, you've been around the block a little bit, year or two, and he said, what are you doing now? How do you do what you do now that's different than what you were doing? It was just, idle chit-chat. Can you pass me a fork, a napkin? So what were you doing? What's different about what you're doing now than what you were doing 10 years ago? And it didn't take me long to come up with the answer. The answer was, and we'll get to this, the answer was 10 years ago. Let's just picture a tripod here. And I'm and my eye is so deep into this eyepiece or into this viewfinder. I was so into this, and this is everybody else on the set, everybody around me, from actors to directors to DPs to grips to PAs. I was so into this and telling what was the story about what was going on in here, to think about the technical side of this, that I was not wise enough. I was not old enough. I was not mature enough to pull my face out of the eyepiece or the viewfinder to look at what was really going on around me. Because what it's really about for me now, 10 years later, it's about relationships. It's about people. It's about, yes, I've got to do this. I've got to tell a story through this thing, and I'm going to put my eye in that viewfinder, and I'm going to be in this eyepiece. But the difference is the communication with people around me. It's the collaboration with people around me, and it's working with them. It's cooperating together to get to a vision, to get to where we're going. That was, at that time, that was an eye-opening lunchtime chat for me. I was like, because I hadn't really thought about it. I just do it, but I didn't really think about it. So these things, this communication, this collaboration, this hanging out with each other and making a movie or doing a TV show or whatever we do to tell stories visually is great, but a big factor between if you're going to fail or if you're going to succeed is if you can look at the person next to you and work with them and be open to ideas of things that are going on around you. So we're going to talk about some things. We're going to split up our time today. For those of us who were with me last hour or whatever, we're going to do something similar to what we did last time. I'm going to try to blow through some stuff, some general concepts and some things about how to experiences of interacting with people. And then we're going to open it up to situations because I'd love to hear from y'all. Because something that you've done in your world where something worked or didn't, more importantly, didn't work, he may have a say, dude, I just faced that 2 weeks ago and this is how I solved it. So this is where we're going to get something out of this time together. I could sit here and run my mouth for an hour and hey, and when you talk to these people, this is what we do. Yeah, that's not going to help you. But it's not only within our own department. It's everybody around us. So yes, it's about the job. Yes, it's about the shot. Yes, it's about the story. That's the obvious part. That's why somebody's paying me to be there. They're paying me to put my eye in this eyepiece and frame this shot up and ask questions at the right time and listen and tell a story. Yes, it's about those things. But the people, the interaction, the experience, and the gift, we talked about it earlier. The gift that God has given me to do what I love in an environment where I can love up on people around me and do what I do for a living at the same time is pretty cool. So as I mentioned, we're going to break it up into kind of two different sections. Let's start within the camera department. Oh. I was trying to think of how many of these pictures you're going to be in. Okay, all right. I got to spend 2 months with this cat earlier this year, so I just was like, how many pictures are you going to be in? Okay, okay. So I got to do the right things when I show up for work. Yes, good listening and asking appropriate, well-timed questions. The people above you want to know that you're interested and that you're intrigued and that you're involved and invested and you want to be there. They want to know that I'm paying attention. So that alone, just the way I communicate that, it's the way I stand, it's the way I listen, it's the eye contact I give somebody. It's I'm not on my phone wondering when the next thing is. Okay? If I'm hiring somebody, I want to know that they are 100% right here. Because they can be on their phone somewhere else. And in this world that we live in today, hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm sorry, did you say something? You want to grind on somebody's nerves? That's a great place to start. Okay. We in the camera department communicate through the lens. But this is called, I think when we were coming up with the name for this, we were like, camera department communication. And I'm like, okay, are people snoring already in aisle 4? You know, and it's like, okay. So we were like, how do we express what this really is? But we communicate through the lens, but it's just not about that. It's about all this other stuff that we're going to chat about. I need to be, in my job, very direct, very clear in my communication with people. I can't fluctuate and dilly-dally around, hey, do you want to be somewhere right there? If I move the camera right here, can you be right there? A little bit to your left, don't what? And somebody back here pulling focus is like, I need to know where we need people to be very specific. Because people need to be able to do their jobs. And if I can't help somebody, I need to help them be able to do their job better as part of my job of communicating and collaborating and cooperating with people. I need to read the sides. I need to know when I show up at work every day that when I'm sitting there, that when so-and-so walks into the room and says X, Y, Z, that I know why they're going to say, I know what they're going to say, I know where they're ballpark until we get into a blocking rehearsal, that I know where they're going to be, that I'm not like looking through the eyepiece for the first time on take 1. Oh, yeah, where's he going? Oh, he's going over there. Oh, yeah. Oh. Did that person just say? Was I supposed? Shh, Bob, was I supposed to be framed up on that? We won't be doing that. I need to know. I need to be reading. I need to be getting ahead. I need to be asking questions. I need to look at the blocking rehearsal. When we come in, this job is a procedure. We block it, we rehearse it, we light it, we shoot it. And then we block it. Dude, it's as cyclical as it gets, okay? So I need to watch what's going on. It is super helpful for me to know exactly what's going to happen. When I'm asking questions, I want to ask good questions. I don't want to ask a silly question that just got answered 30 seconds ago because I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't listening because I was on my something. Okay? All right. Are my batteries dying? Okay. Depending on what department you're in and how close proximity you are to things, in the camera department, we are right up in the business of the people that are telling the story in front of the lens. Depending on where you are, your department, you maybe, are setting the tempo and the attitude and the tone of what's going on. If this cat and I are in the camera department, let's see if I put it on here as a thing. Okay. Thought I did, but I wasn't sure. Okay. If you're slow, everybody is slow. If you're short with people, if you got a poopy attitude about something, everybody's going to see it because it's right there on set where everybody is, right up in your business. So having a good attitude, loving up on those people that are around you, and your attitude, the kindness, the positivity, your body language alone tells people what you're there for. If I'm like, hey man, tell me what's going on. If I'm here, I'm not like, oh, I'm sorry, I need to be doing something with you. What? Be involved. Be engaged. Be a part of what's going on. Yes, we're there to have fun. We want to build relationships. We want to enjoy people. We want to be kind. We want to do this. We want to do that. All these great, hey, we're making a movie. Well, what's important is you're getting paid to make a movie, whatever. We need to be professional, efficient, keep on schedule. We need to, there is this element. Don't get me wrong. We're here to talk about having fun with people and loving up on people and doing this, but there is this element. 10 years ago, I was so involved in that element that I couldn't do the things that we're here to talk about today. So that's where, when I say, we do all these things, but we have to do what we're really there to do, if that makes sense. The kinder, more respectful, the people in the department, we're all going to be happier and love up on each other if we're just good to each other. Hey, everybody wakes up on the wrong side of the bed every day, every once in a while. People wake up on the wrong side of the bed every day, okay? But you're going to have a bad day. But when I'm going to set in the morning, when I'm going to a NASCAR race, whatever's paying my power bill that day, I am in the car, whether it's a rental car, wherever I'm going, I am either I've got to do this at some point and say, the attitude that I bring to the table today the attitude that I bring to the table is going to make or break how this day goes. I'm not going to let it be reliant upon somebody else. Bless you. I can't let somebody else's bad day make me have a bad day. So I've got to literally, whether I'm putting on some good music in the car on the way in, whether I'm calling my wife and telling her that I love her because I'm 6 hours away from whereverville, something that refocuses my attention daily on the way in to say, how I approach today, I'm responsible for that. And if I show up with that attitude, the rest of the day's got nowhere to go but start out positive. Instead of showing up on hour one, what? Where do we have to go now? Come on. When's lunch, man? Okay. Director of photography, director, the camera operator. There are ways to guide and work with people, and I will pause and I will read what I actually read. Okay? talking to the camera operator, when you're the director of photography or the director, there are ways to talk to the operator to correct, augment, deal with, and get what they want. I can't read minds. They have to tell me, we have to communicate with each other as to what they want. Before I get to these things, I'm going to talk about that picture right there, because it's there for a very specific reason. I am standing before you because of those two guys right there in that picture. And I am blessed beyond measure to work for two people who are so good at communicating what they want and selflessly saying, hey, best idea wins. We're here to make something happen. Let's do this together. Those two guys right there in that picture, I am blown away every day I go to work with these guys, knowing that I don't have to read minds, that I can show up every day, have a great attitude, and know that we're going to do something fun because we're going to work it out, and we're going to do it together. And what a blessing that is. Well, let's talk about one that's not. Homeland. Anybody ever seen the show called Homeland? I'm dating myself because it was the show of hands tells me everything. There was a show. We won't even call it Homeland. We'll call it Water Bottle. Okay? I was working on a water bottle show, and we're shooting an interrogation scene, and it was my first day on that job. Didn't know anything. I was green as a tomato and the blah, blah, whatever, okay? And I'm like picking up a thing, and we're doing this interrogation scene, and there's some big names, and I'm like, kind of intimidated, okay? And I'm doing this because this is me doing handheld. Okay, so I'm sitting there doing this interrogation scene, and take one, blah, 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 B camera, blah, 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 and we're talking. We get through take number one. Talk about communication. We get through take number one. The DP gets in my ear on our radios, and he says, hey, B camera. Yeah, go ahead. B camera, I need a little life. I need a little life to this. This isn't on sticks. And I'm like, okay. Take two. Copy that. Okay? And cut. B camera. I need a little more life. It's an interrogation scene. Give me some movement. I was like, okay. Copy that. Take three. Okay? And cut. B camera. What's your name? David. Don't make me come out there and do it myself. Dude, I thought I was going to get fired right then. I should have asked better questions. I'm not going to point the finger at him. That dude's on that show every day. I'm the guest player that day. I should have said to him, how busy. I should have looked at the other camera operator and said, when he says that, after the first time he said something to me, I should have said, hey Eric, like how, like crazy, like, I should have started talking right then. Instead of thinking that I knew what he meant, reading minds, okay? Come on in. The water's fine. Okay. We talked about this in the last group. I'm not going to hit on this. You know what this is? The director and DP not being on the same page? Everybody who was there last hour knows exactly what I'm talking about. This is director says one thing, DP says another. And how do we fit into that? And tell me your name. Hey, Jonathan, tell me your name. Jeremiah? Okay. If one person says one thing and another person says the other thing, do not get in the middle of it, especially when they're your bosses. If there is a disagreement, is this disc golf? If there's a disagreement about something that's going on, you get out of the middle of it and you bring those two people together and you say, hey, I'm trying to understand what you're asking me to do. And it's not point fingers. He said this and he said that. It ain't about that. If I want to find a way to not get invited back day 2, I'm not going to go about it that way. Ask in the most politically correct way you can. Hey, put it on yourself. Self-deprecating humor is great. Self-deprecating whatever else is also great. Put it on me. Hey, I'm misunderstanding what you tell me again what you guys want me to, boom, right there. Tell me again what you guys want me to do. Because then, if he starts to say it, he's right there. He can't not say, whoa, that's not what I told him. Get out of the way. Batteries. Okay. I didn't know what else to call this. Eager beaver, overachiever. Okay? All right. And I'm going to talk about I'm going to read it first, and then I'm going to tell you a story. Here's the story. Be patient. Things move fast and are changing all the time. Locations, personnel, gear, light, etc. We need to be patient as things develop. If you're not the one making the calls, stay close. Listen attentively, because the changes are coming fast, and they're happening right now, and they could be happening 3 feet away from you by those people who are making the choices right next to you. Back to the last part, ask timely. Did I make that? Oh, heaven forbid I did put it in capital letters. Timely questions. Okay, here's the story. I'm in Asheville, I'm a Charlotte guy, North Carolina. I'm in Asheville on a commercial. I was not DPing it. I was not operating it. I was gaffing it. So, we show up for a scout, 5 o'clock the afternoon before. The grip guy who's standing right next to me was at the same scout I was. Hey, here's what we're going to do. The 2 people are going to walk in this door. We're going to blah, blah. At this location, the 2 people are going to walk in that door. They're going to do this. It's going to be great. This is what it's going to be. We're going to bring light through those windows right there. We're going to do this. We're going to put a little edge through the blah, blah, blah. This is what we're going to do. Tell me what. Oh, you want to do that? Okay, and we're going to do this, and then we're going to stop down, and we're going to flip the world, and we're going to do this. Great. Okay, we show up at 7:15 the next morning at another location because we had not scouted this location. But the night before, at 7 o'clock, they lost the location that we were supposed to be in, and we had to flip-flop and punt and show up at a different location to do the exact same scene. Okay, now you know the scene set. Now you're going to hear the story. I'm sitting there. We're all in the same boat. The director, DP, are sitting right there. The producer, the writer, right there. And by this time, I'm old enough to go, I've got nothing to say right now. I'm listening. I'm all this. Because there's nothing that I can add to this conversation that I'm not about to find out through those 4 people right there. Eager beaver overachiever next to me is in my ear from the minute we walk in the door. Do I need to bring in the blah blah? Do I need to do this? Do I need to get C-stands? Do I need the 1200 out there? Dude, he is. At some point I go, do I need to bring in this? If I bring the truck, I'm bringing the truck around the thing, and I can bring in the apple parts and boxes and the carts and do I need to bring in this? Okay. At some juncture, I step away from where the information is happening, and I, in the most kind and gentle, loving way, said, everything that you're asking me is being answered 5 feet away from us as the situation develops. I can't answer your questions for you. I would love to answer your questions. But everything you're asking me, when I'm having to talk to you now, we're missing vital information that's happening right there. Come along with me. Let's find out together. Okay? There's a time to ask questions. There's a time to be eager. There's a time to be excited. but there's a time to listen. And that's what that moment is about. I think she's dead. Right? Oh, okay. Maybe if I just get like here, it'll work. Okay. That goes for me as an operator as well. My job is to serve the director, the DP, the producers. My job is to serve. I work at Chick-fil-A in the film world, okay? I am here to do whatever you want me to do, to give you the idea. If you ask for I was about to say it in another way, but I'll read it. My job is to make their vision come to life and gain their trust. Key. Gain their trust so I can add positively when the time comes. I am not supposed to show up there and pretend like I'm the bull in the china shop and do that. If I do that, they might not call me back tomorrow to come back and play. So, my job, unless I'm leading the charge and I'm asked to be the alpha dog, if you will, like we talked about a little bit before, my job is to listen and to gain their trust so when they say, hey, Sven, on the blah, 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 whatever, can you do, that I go, yes, and here are the reasons why. We can totally do that. Absolutely love to do that for you. Okay, grip and electric department. Now we're going to start to come outside the camera world. Okay, grip and electric department. How can I best serve them? If I'm the camera guy, and I'm sitting over here with my eye and an eyepiece and a blah, 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 how can I be loving up on them and giving them what they need? One of the things that I can be doing is be the mouthpiece for the producer, for the director, the DP. How many times are we on sets where, all right, we're blocking, we're doing this, and hey, let's get a rehearsal going, blah, blah. All right, first team, step away, blah, blah, blah. All right, guys, set's yours. Which is their curtain call. They're up, okay? They're not looking through the viewfinder unless they go over to the monitor and blah, 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 okay? It's a great opportunity for me to show them that I respect them, that I love them, that I care about them, that I want to be there for them. If something's going on over there, I need to say, hey, John, that C-stand is going to be in by about 2 feet. Can you broom that back just a little bit? Hey, Svenson, is this in? Or what's your headroom on the blah, blah? Where does it? I need to be looking not only at what I'm doing, I need to have open eyeballs and looking at what he needs, looking at what she needs, looking at what this person's doing, and looking at them saying, he's going to need to know, he's setting that, he's going to need to know where this is. He's going to need to know where he's in, where he's out, if this is good, if it is bad. I need to be looking at other people's positions and try to anticipate what their needs are and be helpful rather than me sitting over there. If this battery's dead, it's not going to do it. Boy, this thing is dead. Okay. I need to be double A? You got a double A. Oh, triple. I just made it. I'm almost to the big leagues. Done. Okay. I'm going to use this finger, and I'm going to push this button right here. It's going to be fun. Okay, so that's how I can be helpful to people around me, especially for those guys. Dude, you are awesome. If I think you're going where you're going, I'm about to come up there and hug you. Okay, all right. Communication it's not just within our boundaries. It is just not what we do. Dude, you're awesome. Okay, it extends outside of our world. If I do this, if I want to start a great day, let me just alienate 30 people on my team and expect them to help me later when I need some help. I want to go in, and if I see something, I want to be opening my eyes to see, hey, hi, so-and-so, tell me, dude, do that for the ladies in the group, okay? Folks, when you get a call sheet, look at it. Not just for what time lunch is. You need to know what people's names are. Screen grab something on your phone. Cut up a call sheet. Tape it somewhere. Know who these people are. Those people are going to save your butt and make you look great, or they're going to kick you to the curb because you're being a jerk. Okay? Whoa, I can't. Boy, that was pretty direct. Sorry. But, hey, it's important. We got to be good to these people because those people are going to make you look great, or they're going to make you look like a or they're going to make you look like a buffoon. Ooh, positive, negative, positive. Oh, look at you, dude. Golly Moses. By the way, your check's in the mail. You're awesome, dude. Thank you. Let's see if she works. Oh, this is the best. I literally looked at that yesterday and said, I wonder how old those batteries are. Stupid of me. Okay, all right. But it's all about how you treat people. And you know where I get it from? If I said my attitude's changed in the last 10 years, why? Because that guy who's had his hand on my shoulder right there, that dude has changed my life. And I'm going to do everything in my power not to get emotional about it. But that dude has changed my world. And why? Because how he loves up on people, how he treats people, how he interacts with people. His patience level with people, uncanny. I've been on projects with him where he has asked somebody to do something for him 5 times. 5 times. And instead of coming back in on the 5th time and saying, I asked for this needs to move. What did he say? 5th time. Hey guys, this is really important that this needs to go, this needs to move like now. Because we really have to move forward, and this is hindering our process. Can we move this now? It'd be really great. Thank you so much. And can I help you with that, by the way? Come on. All it takes is being patient with people, to a degree. There's a time and a place for everything. Anyway. Oh. It doesn't matter if you're the director or the 14th PA who's only there for one day of 40. You can love up on those people. You can be good to those people. You can learn those people's names because it's important. But let me tell you one thing. That was me being very authoritative. Let me tell you one thing. Okay, the people that are who are the PAs today are the people 5 years from now who are going to be calling you to hire you. You treat somebody poorly today, they're going to remember that you treated them poorly. And do you think they're going to call you back 2 years from now when they say, hey, I need a camera guy? Boy, that Svenson guy, he was a jerk. I'm not calling him. But if, heaven forbid, if I flip the script on them and I treat them, I learn their name and I ask them questions and blah, 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 let them feel involved, they might just reach out and say, hey, that one guy was all right. That Svenson guy, let's get him back. That's what we want. Talked about Bob. Let's talk a little bit about I wrote this down because I didn't put a slide in here, and I needed to put a slide in there, and I wasn't very good. Sorry. Okay, let's talk about dolly grip. A dolly grip position. Everybody know what a dolly grip is? It is the person who is assigned to us in the camera department from the grip department who's going to, if there's a dolly to be pushed, if someone is helping me, support me to keep me safe as I'm standing in an environment, or if I need something, whatever. We are like, before I open that up and it goes all over me, okay? We are like this. And when you work with a dolly grip, Ken, for instance, you work with certain people, it is the most wonderful relationship to have that relationship with people because we're all there for each other. We're covering each other's backs. But let's talk about the flip side of that. Let's talk about if you have somebody who is not a sassy, saucy veteran, okay? Oh, gotta go. I'll be brief. I can't just say, push dolly, get check, here to here, and wait for the action call. Can you imagine if I said that to somebody? One, she needs to be as invested as I am in what's going on. If they are not, it is my responsibility to reach out to them and say, hey, so this is what we're going to do. She's going to, I know you, you're filling in for the other guy. Okay, John, good to see you. John, what's going to happen is she's going to walk in the room right there. She's going to come over here, and at this moment, she's going to say this. on the sides. She's going to say this. This is the line we're on right here. That's the important part. When she says that, it's important. So when we're pushing in, right before she's about to say that line, the line before that line is this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Okay, you got that? This is the line that tells you that this line is coming. This is when we need to, and I need you to push it at this speed, blah, 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 and this. And when we get to here, boom, I'm moving to Los Angeles. If he's still pushing on I'm moving to Los Angeles, I'm going to hear about it in my earpiece from somebody, okay? I need to communicate with that person to let them know. We need to be on the same page. So, having that relationship is great. It's super important. I not only need to say, push here, end here. We need to talk about beats, about moments, about a moment when an actor does this. It is a lot going on, okay? Success and failure, okay? We're going to fail and we're going to succeed. I do them both. Okay. Y'all know that. Okay. We just talked about it. Okay. I think somebody over here said something about you learn more when you fail. If you get it right the first time, great. Moving on. But if I fail at it, something's going to trigger something that says, "Ooh, did not do that well. How can I get better at that? How can we make sure that next time?" And you know what that breeds? You know what it makes? Gives you experience. Nothing beats experience. If I can fail enough, sadly, if we can fail enough or see others fail and learn from those failures, it's going to make us better because we can implement what we see when somebody or we fail. That's what people are paying for. If they're the so-and-so on the call sheet walks in, and they're the ones up the chain. You look on the call sheet, their name isn't fourth, it's first, okay? Why are they making that money? Why are they in that position? Why do they have that responsibility? Why do they have that role? They do because they've learned, and they're being paid for not when things go well. They're getting paid for when the poop hits the fan. How do you handle something? How do you make it better? Instead of going, I don't know how to deal with that. Y'all deal with that. They say, oh, we set up for this. X amount of situations led us to this. This is what happens. Let's move forward. This is our game plan. Do we have the authority to do that? Good. Let's move forward with that. They're so much more valuable because they help us learn and move forward. Okay. I put this picture in here for a reason. You know Charlie Harold? Okay. He wasn't on the... Okay. I call this the USS Char Char. We were in a stream, as if you can't tell. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of how do you handle a situation, and in a situation of saying, "This is what you've given us. You're paying me now to make good decisions when the poop hits the fan." Okay, some were given If I say poop, does that make y'all mad at me? Okay. So, hey, we've spent an hour and a half with 14 people on the grip and lighting team building this situation. Somebody comes in, looks at the script, and says, "Whoa, this is a day scene. We're totally tinted for night. We're set up to do a night scene." Okay, that's not good. Somebody dropped the ball somewhere. Because these people this team of people, 14 people or whatever, have been working for an hour and a half to get us to where we are. Charlie, one of my favorite people, one of the greatest learning experiences about patience and how to handle adversity came from this one moment. This happens. The guy comes in and says, "Whoa, we got to change it." Okay, it'd be really easy for Charlie at that point to get mad. I almost said another word. Peeved. Spelled differently. Okay. So he could have gotten really mad. What did he do? He listened. He assessed. You could see him seething, waiting. What does he do? Okay, so here's what's going to happen. So this needs to be a day scene. Am I correct? Yes, you're correct. Okay. Okay, so for this to be a day scene, it's going to take me about 7 guys and for about 25 minutes. And he just starts listing off the things that he needs and says, this is what I need. This is what it's going to take. You give me the green light to tell me that I'm moving forward on that, and my team is on it. And that blew me out of the water. I've been on sets where people get that same information, and it is this. It changed I had only known him for a month at that point. It totally changed my viewpoint of who he is as a professional. That he was able to say calmly and clearly, I am internally not happy with this, but I'm going to do what you ask, and I'm going to give it to you in a professional manner. And this is what it's going to take. Do I have your blessing? Good. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks for the information. All right, guys, this is what we're going to do. Boom. And you know what, by the way? He beat the time that he gave them to get it done. It was awesome. So love it. Okay, read the room. We talked a little bit earlier in the last hour about reading the temperature of the room. And for the two of you fine folks, we ain't talking about, is it 72 and it's really swampy in here. Okay. We need to go in and assess what's going on. Why do I have this picture right here? This picture is because if that's a praying scene, I'm probably not going to come in with my boom box playing something from the 80s. I have to assess what's going on. I didn't mean to get into that musical interlude right there. Okay. I need to assess what's going on and play accordingly. I need to read what's going on and do this and say, okay, this is a very serious scene. All right, guys, on the radio, guys, knowing the scene that we're dealing with, blah, blah, you all saw the rehearsal, blah, blah. If we can kind of keep our tones down when the actors come in, because we need to give them the room. We need to love up on them and appreciate them enough to give them that. Okay? Mood and vibe. I'm constantly learning. I constantly make mistakes. I'm learning. I'm getting to be a better person. Thanks for your patience with me. There have been times in my career, and this fine gentleman right here, another Bob Scott type, okay? This guy, how many times? At least twice, literally, felt like he took my legs out from underneath me. Was such I am a horrible person. I need to be more aware. We're shooting a scene, and it's a pretty serious scene, and we have a very important actor coming in, and we're all, first day was a Monday back, everybody's like, what did you do this weekend? Did you see your wife? Blah, blah, how are the kids? Blah, 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 tick, 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 tick. Working, but having fun. We're still doing this. The actor walks in, who's about to do this scene, like 10 minutes early. We're knowing that once this guy arrives, that we're going to be good and we're going to tone it back. But none of us knew that this guy walked in the room. And Brent walked over to me in the most kind, gentle way and said, I'm not going to tell you this on the radio. He came over and he said, hey man, Graham just arrived, and if we can tone it back a little bit and be more in the mood of this scene, it would be really good. And man, you would have thought that I just disappointed my father, that I was not more aware to be better for him. I learn every day. When I fail, I try to put it right here, and I don't do it again if I can to the best of my ability. I fail at that too, by the way. Knowing the gear is 15%. It's knowing the gear is important, but what's really important is how you politically navigate the waters of a set. We talked about it a little bit last hour. How you deal with people, how you interact with people, people are going to remember it. People are going to remember you by it. How you handle those situations and how you deal with those folks is really going to resonate. That's where the important factor is of communicating and being open and being kind and being good to people. Let's talk briefly about working. Is that your hand? Anyway. Okay. Working with stand-ins. Stand-ins, dude, it would be so easy to be a God, I gotta go. Okay, it'd be really easy to be a stand-in and just sit there. These dudes to just come in and sit down. We need to tell them what they're doing. They should be watching the rehearsals if they can. So when first team goes away, those roles are just not two people sitting in chairs on their phones talking about something that's not important. Those roles are important. They are helping us. They are there for a reason. They are there to help us learn. They are there to help us be ready. So when the real actors come in, that we are set to go, to make changes. They are there for an entirely crazy important role. If we treat them poorly or don't give them the information that they need, how can they do their best job for us? We need to communicate well with them and tell them how important they are to what we do. Encourage them to be there and for the blocking rehearsals and learn. Build those relationships with those people, and their role is important. It'd be really easy to be a stand-in and go, yeah, man, I'm just sitting there. I'm just standing there. Well, stand there knowing why you're standing there. I'm standing there because at this scene, this guy, the actor, comes in and he's like this, and it's a really important scene, and he's like here, and he's like all up in somebody's business. And if this guy's like this, or just brings a stool out and just kind of sits down, that's not helping us. Okay, I'm kicking a dead horse. You know what I'm talking about. This one is so important. If I have to end on this one, so be it. Okay? Working with actors. It's fun to work with good, professional people that are so invested in their craft. Their job is hard. That they've got to come in with all these set people, all these crew people just standing around, and they've got to channel it and focus it to do what they've got to go do. Okay? The actors that blow me out of the water and impress me to no end are the ones that show up. They are so invested. They even want to know what lens you're on to know where their shot is. They know what's happening in the scene. They know what happened coming into the scene. They are so aware and invested. When you work with people like that, it is awesome. You got to build those relationships, because that rapport, those relationships with those people, especially if I am right here with these people, I am sometimes 4 feet from somebody who's got to cry and have a moment that is the most important scene in this movie. How many times, who saw War Room? That's a good response. Okay, there were times on War Room where Miss Clara had, she's sitting in the front room, the sitting room she called it. What are you doing here? We sit. Okay, that was random. Okay, she's having this moment where she's telling Priscilla what she's got to go do. When I pull when they call cut and my face comes down from the eyepiece and I am welled up because that was an incredible performance, if I am not giving her what she needs, if I am messing around and talking loud and whatever, she can't channel, she can't focus to do her job. I need to respect them enough to let them come in and do their thing. Man, it's awesome when you get that. When you build those relationships with people, that you can build that trust with those people. Okay, this guy Mulkey right here, Chris Mulkey, and I won't even get to I told you the Graham Greene story. Guy walked in and Brett, legs out from underneath me, okay? This guy right here, that cat right there, he's awesome. Unbelievable actor, okay? It's one thing. Da, 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 da. We both help each other. It's just not up to me to help him. It's up for him to help me, because it is this. It's not this. It's communication. It's collaboration. Why did I love this dude from day one? Not even hour. We weren't even out of the first hour. He walks in. I saw him in rehearsals. They did the rehearsal. They walked out. Boom, 15 minutes. He comes in, first take. He is standing. He's at a table. He stands up. Blah, blah, blah. What do you want, Sheriff? Blah, blah, blah. He comes in. The actor who came in, blew past his mark like crazy. And I am on a tight shot of Chris right here. The other actor walks in and blows right past his mark. Now Chris is completely now blocked. In other words, why are we even here? Cut is what we would want to say at that point. What's awesome about him? He feels the camera. He knows where the camera is. Comes in, blah, blah, blah. Dude blows right past his mark. Well, what do you want, Sheriff? Blah, blah, blah. I don't understand what you want me to do. Just that alone helped me get the shot that I needed and didn't make us have to go back and do take two. Because Chris was aware enough to see what was happening and correct. Cut. Guy walks away. What does Chris do to me? He's blah, blah, blah. All he does, just looks over and says, I got you. You think that's not a way to build a good relationship with people around you? It'd been really easy for him to stand on his mark and not say a thing. Cut. All right, so-and-so, you blocked him. Okay, we know what that looks like. Come on. Help people around you. It's awesome. Love that guy for that. For that alone, okay? This job is tough. We talked about it. How do we give them what they need? This is one of, okay, I'm just going to get over. How do we give them what they need but not overwhelm them? Not give them too much information. Priscilla's going to come in and have this scene, and it's a very important, man, that was one of the most emotional moments I had last summer. You were on, anyway, I don't know where you were. I think you were on the web. I'm sitting here, literally, at the end of the scene, welled up, tears streaming down my face. If somebody's coming in and has a scene that is an important scene, if we overwhelm them with information, they can't focus on what they need to do. Building relationships with actors is one of the most important things, the most meaningful things that I've had in my career. So one of them is building relationships with actors. I won't get into the McConkey thing because I got very little time. It was the working with people. Okay, find opportunities to encourage them and learn from them. You're constantly learning and building these relationships. When I say learning, I'm going to tell you something really quick about that guy right there, Aspen. Anybody know who this guy is? Because if you don't, you're about to. I'll just say that now. He's awesome. Okay? Encourage. Didn't know Aspen from Adam. He was a name on a call sheet. At some point, he is the lead actor in this movie. At some point, I walk over to him and say, hey, Aspen, my name's David. I'll be interacting. Okay? It's just small talk. About a week into our time together, I had seen him one day come in and be fiery mad. An hour and a half later, he comes in. He's got to give this heartfelt, I am sorry moment. 2 days later, he comes in. He's got to gut it, pour it. Just crazy tears has got to have this moment. Another scene within the same time frame. He had the most joyful, that look that we were talking about. Just that, and it read like a champion on camera. About 4 days in, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to go over to him at some point in between one of our scenes. And I said, hey, Aspen, my name's David. I'm one of the camera dudes. I just want to tell you something. Encourage. I don't know you from Adam, but your range and your diversity from this to this to this to this is outstanding. And if any of the Kendricks wanted you to bring something to the table, you need to know that you are bringing it, and you are awesome. It was impressive just to watch him. It was so cool. But those people need to hear it. He can come in and knock it out of the park all he wants to. Love up on people and encourage people. If you see something, just don't let it skirt by. Go tell them, pump them up, encourage them, love them. Learning. I did a Western movie with this guy, Bailey. Didn't know him from Adam. Day one, we're just working together for the first time. Oh, gosh. We were 3/4 through the movie. And I said, hey, Bailey, he was sitting in the cafeteria, the chow tent or whatever. I couldn't not walk up to him and say, hey, can I sit down for a second? You got time for? He's like, yeah, man, whatever. I have never in my career had an opportunity to sit down with an actor and say, hey, can I just, pride aside, vulnerable, just, can I ask you a couple questions? And he's like, yeah, man, whatever. I said, how can I, as a camera operator, give you more of what you need to succeed? How can I, when you step on set, I don't know you from Adam. How can I give you the information that you need to do your best, and you know that I'm there for you and will do whatever you need me to do to help you succeed? That started the best relationship with an actor that I've had in years. To be able to have that and say, it's not about me. I want to be here for you. How do I start the dialogue and start the questions to get the information I need, and me be humble enough about it to not say, I know, what up? Because that's not the way I want to live. Compassion. Come on. We want to be observant. We want to know what's going on around us. I know we got to go, okay? Be observant. On set, you're going to have people around you that are new. They're going to be young. They're going to be people that have been there, but they're in a new position. They're unsure of themselves. I want to look around the set, and I want to see somebody that I don't know or that I don't know well, and if they have the look on their face of, hey, man, I'm just here, man. I don't know really what I'm doing, but I'm trying my best. And you see that, you can see that, you can read it on their body language. Those are the people that now, at 54, I want to go over to those people and say, hey, man, welcome. What's your name? Tell me about you. Tell me what you're doing here. This is great. We're really excited you're here. How can we make you feel more at home on this set? And all it takes is me seeing it and taking 30 seconds to walk over there and have that conversation. It will make a world of difference. Respecting other people's what they do and giving them the time to do it. If it's a time that I can see somebody doing something and I know that we're about to roll and I know it's coming because the AD's over here, he's blah, 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 da, 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 okay? If I know that somebody is bringing in some apple boxes from the truck to get the person an inch and a half taller to give what we want to see, to match the shot that we did, I'm going to do whatever I can. Hey, blah, 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 so how's your wife doing okay? Everything good? Yeah. That's great, man. That's cool. Oh, are we ready? Yeah, oh, absolutely, we're ready. Let's go. We're cameras ready. Help other people around you. See what's going on. Love up on them enough to give them, respect them enough to give them what they need. Have fun. Be a team player. Be a part of it. We are so blessed to do what we do for a living. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. Don't give that away. Enjoy it. Relish it. Have joy in your heart that day you show up, because it's gonna end tomorrow, and you're gonna say, boy, I wish I were really, that's a hard thing to say to yourself. Talking about being good to people and being a team player. Being a team player. Younger people on the set, we talked about them. I don't care if you're the 14th PA on a blah, 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 you're there one day. You're either going to make me look great or you're going to make me look like a buffoon. I choose the great. But if I don't love up on that person at some point will have the opportunity to potentially throw that back on me. Meh. Don't be average. Okay, I'm going to plow through this. Average people don't inspire others. Excellence, encourage others. You have the opportunity every day you show up on set to encourage somebody or break them down, to make them walk to their car at the end of the day saying, I had a horrible day. But all you have to do is love up on them and encourage them enough that you can change somebody's life every day. Provide an environment where the people that you're leading, that you want them to succeed, that you want to be, that everything that your actions do, that it says, I love you, I believe in you, and I'm going to give you my best. And by the way, in return, I want that from you. It is a this. We do it together. Every day you got the ability to make somebody, you knew you were going to get in here at some point. Okay. You have the ability every day to show somebody that you are that they're appreciated, that they're valued, and that they're loved, and you can encourage somebody. So I challenge you to take that as a big part of your day. This is my favorite line. It's such an important line. I have it on the front of my computer. Enthusiasm is the great elixir of filmmaking. If we do a take, and I will end on this, if we do a take, we get all the way, it's a long Steadicam oneer, we get all the way to the end, blah. How was it? Well, the blah, 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 and we could have, the extra could have crossed earlier, and it could have been, I really wish we would. It was great. Hey, by the way, and I'm walking back to one right now. All right, when we come back here, when we do the something here, hey, Bob, what's your name? Sally? Sally, cross here. When I get to right here, this is your cue to cross. Okay, by the way, this is what we're going to do. If this is what we're going to do, okay, good? You ready? All right, camera set. Rather than hemming and hawing, being negative Nancy or negative Ned or whatever you want to call it, well, it would have been really great if we would have blah, blah, blah. That would have been really cool. Eeyore. Okay? I don't know where that came from. Okay. Okay. Enthusiasm, man. Woman. Folks. Okay? You can change what's going on around you. A lot of it has to do with right here, and a lot of it has to do with right here. That's what I want to leave you with, to say, you can go do it, and you can do great things, but just work with people, be humble, be forthright, be honest, and love up on people and do your best. And that's pretty much all we got. Any questions? I did a lot of talking and not a lot of Q&A time. It went a lot longer than I thought. Okay. Sorry I ran my mouth. We should have gotten a lot more questions a lot sooner. Anything that I can be asking, answering, whatever. Any questions? What's up? Yes, ma'am. What's your name? Leah. Good to see you, Leah. I'm a question asker. Sadly, and we'll get to the sadly part, you will work with people like that. But you can't read minds. It's not your job. If you look at all the things that your job says you do, that's not one of them. You can only do what you can do until you realize that the pathways of communication are not what you want, until you say, and if you're in front of a group, it's not the time to have a, dude, I ain't getting nothing from you. I need a little something, something. It ain't the time, okay? But in front of people, or say, hey, I got 5 minutes, or can we talk at lunch? For me to give you my best, I need these factors from you. What can I do? It's not a this, it's how can I help you? I'm here for you. What can I do for you? I'd love to give you this. Did you want this? Is this what you need in this next scene? Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. But come on. Ask questions. If we don't ask questions, we can't get answers. And we can't read somebody's mind. You may get sick of asking questions, sadly. But it's the way we get it done. You can communicate through pictures. You can communicate through phone chats. You can communicate through whatchamajigger, lookbooks, anything that tells you what you need to know to get the information you need to succeed. But we should all be at a point in this business. We are in the communication business. Sometimes ain't a lot of communicating going on. Okay? Answer your question? Awesome. Thank you. Leah? Awesome. Thank you. Come on. Anybody? Well, God, let's just get in the hallway, will we? Come on. Hey, thanks for your time today.